Hello guys, my name is Wilson and today we have again the famous Fold Star Z Fold 4. But today I bring you something different because I know some of you want to know more about the performance and thermals.
After all, we have here a big display and will be fantastic if this device can handle with the most demanding games for mobile to make the best gaming experience.
I appreciate your support, it helped me a lot, so smash that like button, subscribe, and without any more delay, let's go to the tests.
The first test we'll be running is Antutu Benchmark, and this is the test that most people know and choose to compare the smartphone's performance. So already I've installed it here. We have it here, Antutu Benchmark. And we're gonna run it now. We got our test done. Let's check the temperatures. Air temperature is here, 39.9, almost 40, and we have our score here. I was expecting a little better, but still a really nice score, almost 1 million points at Antutu Benchmarks. The max temperature was 40.6 degrees, and it's a really nice result with a really nice management of the temperature, not getting too much hot in this device. Was that? So this was our score, and according to the ranking, the Samsung Z Fold will be here in the 14th place. We already run the Antutu Benchmark, but I want to try in a different way, because since I said in the video before, you can go to the settings, to the performance, and change it to light, and we'll save it some battery. So let's see how much this impacts our Antutu score. So let's test again. So as you can see, the result is almost the same compared to the normal performance. As you can see, the performance profile is at light, and as I said, you save some battery, you get almost the same performance. It's a great setting to change on your device. The next test we're gonna do, it's the 3D Mark, and the 3D Mark, it's a benchmark test that tests the graphical power of a smartphone. We have the different options. Here we have the wildlife, and the wildlife, it's the most widely used graphic test that compares with other mobile devices. we have the 3DMark Wildlife Extreme, it's here, and this one it's a test that pushes the graphics power to the limit. We have the Wildlife Stress Test, that it's a 20-minute test to show how a device performs under longer periods of heavy loads. It kinda mimics the mobile games. And the last one we're gonna do, it's the Wildlife Extreme Stress Test, and this is a more demanding test under 20 minutes that show how the device manages the performance and heat during heavy use. So without taking much more time, we're gonna start the Wildlife test. So I already have the result and it maxed out. Next one will be the Wildlife Extreme, and let's go. Our score here, 2584. It's a really nice result. We have here our score compared to some other popular devices. We lost 1% battery and it reached 38 degrees. The frame rate was kinda low, but yeah, this is a really demanding test. Next one, it's the Wildlife Stress Test, and let's go. And the test has finished. The last test we're going for is the Wildlife Extreme Stress Test, and let's see if this device can handle this heavy test. But this is the score of the Wildlife Extreme Stress Test. We have a good score with 73% stability, and it's a good score for this phone. I mean, it's not a gaming phone or anything like that. It lost like 10%. It went to 43 degrees, but it's the Wildlife Extreme Stress Test, so of course it will go hot. And 3DMark is done. We're gonna move to the next test. So the next test we're gonna do is the GeekBench 5, and this test tests the CPU, and it gives a result for the single core and multi-core performance. And basically this benchmark bombards your CPU with intensive and non-intensive tasks, giving a final score for how well your device did. So let's begin it. So the test has ended and we got a single core, multi-core result for the single core 1255, and this is a good result because according to the GeekBench ranking, The first one, it's the Lenovo Legion Y90 with a score of 1191. So this device should be the first one to achieve this score. And the multi-score is also a great score with 3649, and this is a nice score because according to the GeekBench ranking, the first one is the Realme GT Neo 3 with 3876. So this device should be the second one according to the ranking. And yeah, this is our really great results for this device. I'm gonna just scrolling, so for everyone check all the scores I'm getting here, and that's it. We can check here to compare the results for the single core. As you can see, the others here are lower than the Z Fold 4. Multi-core, same thing, but I think these results are not updated. The next test I'm gonna do, it's a throttling test, and I'm gonna run this application here, and what this test does is to check how the CPU performance handles with a lot of tasks, and if like you were gaming or something like that, and how we can manage that. And he's going to, of course, he's going to, at some time is going to overheat. I'm gonna start the test and keep talking, so it's gonna start to overheat, and the performance will go lower, as we saw in the Wiild live test. The stability was 70%, so at some time we expect to see some throttling. At the beginning, the CPU was handling good with this test till almost 5 minutes, but after that it started to throttle a lot, as you can see in this graphic, and it kept that way. Hopefully this CPU didn't go lower, but still not a bad performance for this processor. It can handle the temperature, and it maintained average performance. So we're gonna do the battery test. It's the final test, and there are some findings I would like to share with you first.
There are some findings you know now. The Z Fold 4 has a better battery than the S22 Ultra, and this is because of some features on the Z Fold 4. For example, the display is more energy efficient than the Z Fold 3, and this is because it drops until the 24 Hz when you are not using the display. The Z Fold 4 only went to 60 Hz. Also, the software helps a lot. You can change the performance profile from standard to light, and it will save you some battery, and it will not cost so much performance as you think. Also, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 Plus has a better management of processaments, and it will save you some battery. So with all these, let's check the test.
So before we start our test, I'm gonna check my battery daily usage here, and I have about 1 day and 6 hours for 100% battery. And yeah, this device lasts me every day, a full day, for a normal usage. And we're going to the test now. We're gonna run the PCMark here, And let's go with 100% and let's see how much time we're gonna get. This test that runs daily activities, daily tasks as a normal user to understand how much hours of battery you can get from this phone. So the test has finished and we have our battery life for this test, and it was 10 hours and 70 minutes. It's a pretty nice score for this phone. Remember, I did this with a fold screen, not with the cover one, because the cover one is smaller. And also I did with the standard profile. If I would do this with the light profile, the battery life will be higher. And we have here the data. The temperature was almost the same all the time, below 40 degrees. We have here our performance score. This score is important because we can compare this score here. We can compare this score with other phones. I will let the other scores here on the screen to compare it. And that's it. That's our battery test.
This phone and the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 Plus show us good results. Okay, it's not the best performance overall, but still. This processor can handle with all the daily tasks we are thinking of without sweating too much. Still, this is not a gaming device, and if you go hardcore modes with ultra graphics, player of an hour, it will warm a bit, of course. Nothing much since our higher temperature was 23 degrees, but this device showed us pretty nice results.
You can play the best gaming titles, open a bunch of apps and let them run at the background while you are multitasking, or just scroll around your social media.
This smartphone will handle everything. Thanks all for today, hope you liked it. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe and activate the damn bell. See you next time.